Hello everyone. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for us to go over the latest dragon. That's right, the new dragon that has released alongside Class Change 2. Now, I do recognize this video is a little late for server 1 who's had Class Change 2 for some time, but at the same time, there seems to be a lot of people who still don't understand the mechanics of this dragon, or at least the ones that end up in my party and then blow the entire party up. So, I think it's very important, probably more so than the previous dragons, because in the previous dragons the mechanics had a chance to kill you if you didn't understand them. In this fight, the mechanics have a chance to kill the entire party if you don't understand them, so there's a little bit more at stake if you don't fully understand this dragon's mechanics. So, if you have friends who keep blowing your party up in Dragon, then please send this video to them, or if you have any questions about the mechanics yourself, then stick around because this is very important that you understand how this dragon works and don't grief your runs, or, get less score. So, let's jump right into the dragon menu and take a look at this latest Class Change 2 dragon, which is the Chaos Sealed Dragon, which is definitely a chaotic dragon as the name would suggest. So, as always, we're going to jump in and take a look at the mechanics as they are written down and then look at a fight together and see how it works in practice. So I'm going to press this button here and let's take a look. So, first thing I've noticed is that my actual accuracy is not at 100% currently. I will fix this after I finish recording this video. So a number of abilities here, maybe not as many in the list as some of the previous dragons, but we'll go through them nonetheless, leaving the main three mechanics for last and go through the others first. So, the first ability, Chaos Spread, not much need to know here. This is a every 1 second 200% attack, outgoing damage to all players on the field. This is going to be naturally mitigated by your healer's healing output. Next up, you have Chaos Thunderthorn, which is another outgoing damage source to all targets. As a DPS, there's not much you're going to be able to do to avoid this. Healers and the tank will have to deal with this. I'm not sure exactly if it's worth the tank specifically using their banner for this, or if the healer should pop any other defensives, but it doesn't feel like it does that much damage relative to some of the dragon's other abilities. But just be mindful, he will say Chaos Thunderthorn, and you should be aware of that when it happens. Next up, you have the Black Tail Sweep. Select a target direction and then perform a tail sweep, dealing massive damage to the affected area. So this is very easy to avoid. The way this works is that if you have a tank, which this dragon is hard enough for the time being to need a tank, the tank will have the dragon's focus, and the sector that the tank is in will be safe, and the other two sectors will have a glowing aura on them. And then if you're standing in there after he finishes casting Black Tail Sweep, it will most likely one-shot you. So when you see the black glowing aura in the other two sectors where the tank is, try not to end up there because you will take a lot of damage. Now, there is always the chance that this ability is going to line up with the other abilities, the Chaos Corrosion, which we will get to shortly, and I will tell you how to deal with that if it does happen. The final ability here is the Quietus. After 0.5 seconds, the star sector explodes, dealing a large amount of damage to players in its position and applying a stack of curse mark vulnerability, increasing the damage they get from subsequent sector explosions. This at the moment is a party wipe. Quietus is a huge amount of damage to the overall raid, and unfortunately you will basically die to this for now until we get a little stronger. So, next up we have the Chaos Corrosion, Double Chaos Corrosion, and Multi-Chaos Infusion, which are the three most annoying abilities, and the one that ends up blowing up the entire party if you don't know how to deal with them. So first up we have Chaos Corrosion. Now these three abilities are basically the same, so when I explain the first one, the others are going to be basically variations on that. So how Chaos Corrosion works: you infuse the target with a chaotic power, dealing massive damage to the target's area after a short delay, and repeated hits of the skill deal huge additional damage. So how does this work? When you're in the fight, you're going to see a player that has a black aura around them. And if the player has a black aura around them, they should not be in the same zone as other players. Otherwise, they will deal massive damage to the party, and if players get hit by multiple of these in a row, then you'll basically get one shot because the damage, as it says, increases each time you get hit by it. Next up we have the Double Chaos Corrosion, which as the name suggests is simply the Chaos Corrosion, except it will apply to 2 targets instead of 1. So How does this work? How do you deal with this ability? Well, I will explain it when we look at the fight together, but basically, you're going to have everyone, all 6 players, standing on the same square, the same sector, which is going to be Sun, and then each player that gets Chaos Corrosion will move out to Moon or Star, depending on how they're positioned. But I will explain that movement properly when we get to the fight. Now, the last ability we have is Multi-Chaos Infusion, which is even worse than the double chaos, because it'll do double, and then after it does the double, it will do another double. So you can have up to 4 players in the same cast all get targeted by this. It'll be 2, they move out, they blow up, and then the other 2 have to move out as well. So, I've explained how his main abilities work. Now let's jump into a video and watch how this fight works in practice and the best way to position and avoid these mechanics. So, let's go and check this out together. So the first thing you will notice is that the entire party is going to stay in the Sun sector. This is the safe sector. This is where the tank is going to stay. This is where everyone's going to stay. And now you can see one of the players got hit with the Chaos Aura, and there's this black glowing aura around them. So watch what happens. They're going to move out of the party. They're going to stay here on the side. They're going to blow up, and now they're going to move back. And now myself and another party member also got the black aura next from another cast, and now we stay out until we blow up, go back to here, and then the next 2 players go here, and then the next 2 players go, well, I almost messed that up, but luckily we got it in time. So what happened there, this was not all one cast. He cast Chaos, then he cast Double Chaos, then he cast Multi-Chaos all in a row. So that's why we had to move so often. The reason this happened is because we blasted so many of the dragon's HP bars down, so he just basically chain cast those abilities all next to each other. So you won't always, and here, boom, this is the black tail sweep like I mentioned. Everyone is safely in Sun right now, and as long as you're not in these 2 glowing squares, you won't get one shot, but it does deal a lot of damage. Now, there are going to be some instances where you get the double tail swipe at the same time as a multi-chaos infusion, which means you're going to have to wait for the tail strike to hit and extremely quickly go into these 2 sectors as soon as it hits so you don't blow the party up. Now again, multi-chaos, we move out, move back in, and then 2 more players with aura move out and then move back in. So this is how you do this fight. Everyone stays in Sun, and then as you get this multi-chaos aura, you move out to Star or Sun accordingly. And to be honest, this is pretty much the bulk of the mechanics, but it's extremely important that you understand how this aura positioning works and how you should be avoiding it. Because if you just stand in here's the black tail sweep again. So if you're just standing and you don't move out of the way, you'll deal a lot of damage. If you stand in here for 1 or 2 times, you're going to basically one-shot the whole party. So again, multi-chaos, people move out, they blow up, and then the next 2 people move out. I thought it was me, so I moved out. I almost griefed there, but luckily the other person moved out, and we're good to go. So sometimes it can be a little hard, as you can see, to see if it's exactly on your character or not. Sometimes if you're struggling, you can just quickly zoom in to see if it is in fact your character, instead of moving in and getting blown up by mistake. So that's pretty much how this dragon works. Its main mechanic is going to be this Chaos Aura, and you just, here we go, another Multi-Chaos Infusion. You just have to be very, very careful and pay close attention to whoever has the black marks. Now, this was a little chaotic, you can see. Actually, someone messed up here and blew up the raid. We took a bit of damage, but anyway, we survived. It was late on in the fight. There you can see it got a little messy at this point. This is where people started making some small mistakes. But anyway, we survived, we made it through. There's another tail sweep, and pretty much that's how this fight works. So there you have it. Hopefully you understand the mechanics of this better. Hopefully you can explain to your friends who keep griefing your dragon runs how this works, how to position, how to avoid getting the party blown up from the Chaos Infusion. So there you have it. Hope you found this helpful, and good luck beating this dragon. Hopefully we'll be getting him into territory where we can kill him very soon, at least. I hope so. So there you have it. Hit that like button if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. And as well, join the Discord if you have not already. I look forward to seeing you all there. So thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.